Hello, I am Dr. Jason Fujikawa, and I am on a mission to offer better fruit for the human soul. Before we get started, I wanted to mention that if you haven't read a BetterPears blog post, listened to a BetterPears podcast episode, or attended one of our in-person fellowships, hit pause and come back to this video afterwards. It'll make a lot more sense then. Thanks. I founded BetterPears in 2022 because I sensed something was missing in my life. I noticed that my sources of news and entertainment did little to ground me in the great conversation of the West, the great ideas that dominated my studies and career in education. The recent rise of classical education options in the United States gives testimony to the appropriate parental desire to provide what is best to their children. Western civilization, like a withering plant going to seed, gives everything to the next generation, except what the next generation really needs. The hard thing that any group of parents starting a classical school discovers. The great conversation cannot skip a generation. Our students need their parents in the conversation. We need to restore a place in public life beyond the academy, where the great ideas can be spoken, heard, and discussed. Therefore we, perhaps in the twilight of our glory days, when the vigor of youth has given way to the habits of age, we must test our mettle and fill the gaps of our own education, so that our children and grandchildren may become lifelong learners and not merely technological functionaries. I intend no less than to initiate and foster a cultural renaissance in the West, founded on the harmony of faith and reason. My primary means of doing so is through the democratization of the salon, not the beauty salon, but the salon of Italy and France from the 16th century onward, which offered domestic discussions of literature, art, and philosophy. While these salons were historically limited to the upper classes of society, I seek to establish a system through capitalism which allows everyone to enjoy and benefit from these rich and life-changing conversations, while fairly and transparently compensating those who contribute additional labor and resources to the endeavor. This is a peripatetic way of saying that I want to bring interested people together in a clean, safe, and comfortable domestic setting to read aloud, listen, and discuss classical works. I want people to have more genuine friends and not merely social media acquaintances. I have designed BetterPears Fellowships to provide this opportunity in a scalable structure that does not require large external investments, which will potentially compromise the interests of our mission. I am reaching out to you today because BetterPears needs your help. I need your help. BetterPears has operated since its founding as a bootstrap business. That is, I have solely funded its operating expenses from my personal savings. When my full-time employment came to an end in late 2023, I went through a process of discernment. Like many others going through a similar employment situation across the country and the world, I asked myself some tough questions about my professional vocation and what God wanted from my particular skills and intellect that craft their way into the journey that is every episode of the BetterPears podcast. My resolution was to double down on my efforts with BetterPears and further develop the platform to host dramatic readings of Shakespeare's greatest plays. These fellowships launched earlier this year in Oklahoma City. I am also developing a video interview series which explores the guests' favorite classical work in a way that models the quality of conversation that can be had at in-person fellowships. To keep all these initiatives moving forward, especially our in-person fellowships, I need your help. I'm excited to announce our new crowdfunding program, BetterPears Leaves. Similar to organic leaves, which provide the energy to grow delicious pears, BetterPears Leaves allows monthly supporters of $12 or more to support the ongoing work of BetterPears and also opt to receive a monthly Goldback in the mail as our gift to you. Goldbacks are 24-karat gold leaf encased in polymer, which are privately minted and acceptable as species legal tender instruments or instruments of barter, depending on the state. They are not US dollar legal tender. If you are not familiar with Goldbacks, they have been featured by currency experts from former White House advisors to the Tuttle twins. A full explanation can be found at goldback.com. Unlike Federal Reserve notes in your wallet, or your bank's promise to return funds on deposit, each Goldback contains 1/1000th of an ounce of gold and retains a current redemption value between $4 and $5 at all major gold and silver dealers. You might be asking yourself the question right now, okay Jason, you had me with classical education and my own study of classical texts, but this gold leaf in the mail business seems super complicated. Why are you doing this? I will offer 4 reasons. 1. I need funding to keep BetterPears fecund, that is, operational, and to develop our offerings. Crowdfunding is the most appropriate way to grow a crowd-changing cultural renaissance. The gift of a Goldback helps to lower your resistance to start supporting BetterPears, because in reality, you are giving BetterPears inflationary debt instruments, and we are giving you gold that came to exist prior to the formation of the earth. 2. You will likely want to balance your household budget to account for your monthly contribution. Might I suggest canceling one of your video streaming services? The monthly Goldback in the mail will also remind you of all the BetterPears episodes you might want to catch up on. 3. Goldbacks make beautiful gifts for loved ones. Each time you share a Goldback, you will likely end up explaining BetterPears and expanding our audience and supporter base. Number 4. All the gold in Fort Knox arrive there through the U.S. Postal Service. While it is unwise to send large amounts of cash through the mail, the present cost of one Goldback is less than most paperback books, or a BetterPears coffee mug. The risk is minimal, but the benefit of owning real gold, even a fractional amount, changes how you think about wealth and where you choose to invest it. I must also mention 4 important notes about this program. 1. The program is open to any BetterPears contributors with a mailing address in the United States. We cannot mail internationally. 2. To begin your BetterPears Leaves monthly contribution, visit betterpears.com/leaves. We accept all major credit card and debit cards. 3. You may begin and end your monthly contributions at any time. On the first of each month, we will initiate the gift process for all qualifying contributors in the previous month. Our goal is to have your envelope in the mail within a week, so that you receive your Goldback by mid-month. 4. Finally, the BetterPears Leaves program is not an appropriate method for making a significant physical gold investment. Thank you for your interest in BetterPears and your past support of attentive listening and financial contributions. Please visit betterpears.com/leaves to learn more and become a monthly contributor today.